What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Volks TV. It's another weekend. It's another beautiful weekend. We could be driving the bus, but you remember last week we drove the bus and we had to stop driving the bus because we didn't have no brakes. So I've got a bunch of stuff on order for that. I figure I'm just gonna take that bus down off the road. I gotta get that new motor sorted out with the guy that's building it. I got the brakes to figure out. I got electrical issues. I got taillight issues. Way too much stuff. So I'm just gonna put it to the side, figure it out, and we'll start working on it. And that way we can have it super good for the next big trip that we're gonna take. For right now, we're gonna get back on Project Ragtop. I need to get this car on the road. I really am tired of having it sit in the garage and not be worked on and not be driving. I have everything I need to do it, but time. Now we got the time. So we're going to start with the brakes. We put in one of Mitch's beams. We got a narrow beam in there. We've got the disc brakes from MP that we're going to put on the front. But I was waiting on some soft parts and some hard lines. In order to do that, I didn't want to put it all in and then have to fight it to put the hard lines in. So I went ahead and ordered from our pals over at Wolfsburg West. We got a nice stainless steel, all the hard lines. They come with the fittings on them. Ready to go. All you gotta do is bend them to fit into the spot. It's perfect. They sent us some new wheel cylinders. We got new soft lines. We got rear shoes for the back, and all the little springs and cups and keepers and everything to go on the back brakes as well, for both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and do the rear brakes today. We're gonna build them all out from basically the hard line back and everything inside the drum. The drums are good. The guy who I got the car from actually took all the brake stuff out when he parked it 30 years ago and oiled everything up and greased it. And the drums are practically new then, and they've been, kind of waxed and sitting indoors, so they're in really nice shape. Everything else was kind of taken off, and I don't know about the old hardware where it is, so we just got new stuff just to be safe. So let's jump down here. We'll start taking everything apart, and we'll start putting everything back together. Well, there you have it. That's he told me he took all this stuff apart. I guess he just loosened it. That wheel cylinder is crusty. I don't know if you can see that. It's crusty, the brake shoes are gross. We're just going to replace all this stuff. We're going to clean up the backing plate and clean up everything. We got all new, the e-brake's not hooked up. We got all new cups and springs and keepers. We got these springs new as well. So we're going to get all that hooked up and replace the soft line and the hard line on this side and the hard line all the way up to the front there. We got a new one. So looks like this is gonna be fun. This thing it's crusty, but it's not bad. It's all surface. And this will clean off pretty good. So we're gonna get to spraying and disassembling, and that's gonna be fun. everything is nice and clean. I went ahead and took the back plate off. You don't really have to do that, but I did it just so I could paint it and kind of get some of the rust off. So I scrubbed it and hit it with a wire wheel and just spray painted it with some, it's actually I don't have the can right here, but it's the same stuff we used on Kiki's bus for the frame. It's a rust inhibitor and rust converter. So that way everything should stay rust free from now on. I do need to replace the seals in here and maybe the bearings. I think the bearings look alright, but I have to pull the axles out anyways when I do the transmission. So I'm not going to bother with it right now because it's all going to come apart to get new axles for when we put that big motor in here. I don't want to use the stock transmission. So we're going to put all this stuff in here and kind of build the brakes on the backing plate. The nice thing is once it's all built, you don't have to mess with it. Just take the whole backing plate off with the brakes. So that's kind of cool, but at least you'll see how they go together. So we've got these. Right, here's our new wheel cylinder. And that just goes in the same spot. We got the one little screw. Okay, we got the adjusters. Just kind of pop in there. Make sure they're adjusted in so that we can adjust them out later when it's time to, adjust the shoes onto the drum. We've got the e-brake little pawl here, and that goes on like that. It's got this little clip. So that fits into a little groove back there. That keeps that from popping off. That's the rear. It's gonna sit in there something like that. And when the e-brake cable comes in, it's gonna come across. That's gonna work like that. Now the tricky part. You gotta take this little pink spring, and this is probably not the right way, but this is the only way that I'm able to get this done. Is to take that pink spring, hook it, and then kind of raffle these into place. There. Sometimes you gotta fight it because that little pink spring is a pain in the butt. But if you put the bottom in first, I found that you can kind of wiggle them in and get them, at least get that part in place. Then we've got this little spreader bar. One side of it has the 2 notches and one side of it has the 1 notch, and it's kind of like curved out, a little bit. The 2 notches goes on the side for the e-brake lever. And what you can kind of do sometimes is get that right one in there and then pull that out and get it. And then you kind of jiggle them till they go in there. And then this spring and this little keeper is a pain too. Fiddly. This goes the other way. That. There. Now that's actually supposed to go in that hole, but for some reason this thing is like an inch longer, even though it's the same size. It probably has something to do with the adjustment. But although when you adjust the bottom, these are going to get, I don't know. It's weird, it doesn't fit right because it's the same size as the one that came out. And in my picture, that was over there. Now when you pull on the e-brake, You know, that'll push those out and grab the drum. Of course, they'll be further out when there's fluid in there. This will come open more, and then that'll probably hook in there a little better. For now, I'm going to leave it like that. You know, that's good enough. Then we've got your little springs and cups here. These go in through the back like that. And that's what's going to hold. That's what's going to hold your all your stuff together here. Just like that. That'll hold them on so they don't pop off on you. Super nice having all this stuff new from Wolfsburg West. I'm going to keep the old stuff because I always keep the old stuff. You know, it's nice to put the new stuff on. Peace of mind, you know, like I know it's not going to break somewhere, leave me stranded. Like that never happens. Yeah. Alright. There we go. So our brakes are all put together. New stuff. Should move that. There we go. See that? When you pull the handle, it moves both, and they're all locked in. It looks good. Everything's nice and new. Like I'm gonna get those new seals when we put the axles in there, and probably some new bearings to go with the new heavy-duty axles. Then we got our new brake lines. This rubber line goes back here. I'm gonna cut that one out. I don't know if you can even see that. I'm going to cut that old one out because it's so crusty I can't even unbolt them. And then bend up a new stainless one real quick. And that'll go right there to the wheel cylinder. And then we got it. Look of all the new brake stuff we got in there. Got our new brake line, you know, stainless steel brake line, which I'm very happy with. I did a pretty good job matching the bend on the original one. You know, comes straight back and then curves down at an angle and then goes right into the soft line back here, which will be connected eventually. Well, you can't see it, but right back there, there's like a T. And then there's a little short line that bumps up over the e-brake cable, and then there's a T back there that goes to the front and goes to the other side. I'm gonna have to replace that T. I have to order one. I didn't get one. I thought I could reuse it, but it's gonna be a pain in the butt. So there you go. That's the driver's side brakes. I got the drum cleaned up. I hit it with the same rust preventative stuff that I did this, and some gloss black paint, but it's still drying, so let's give that a few minutes. We'll come back, put that together, put the wheel back on, get it back on the roller skates, and we'll wrap it up. I'm pretty sure this car's never had a brake job because everything I took off was stamped VW, but this drum had something I've never seen before. Had a little oil slinger in there, I guess to catch any gear oil. Would have been nice to have that on the bus when I was leaking because I got all over my brakes. But this little thing, there's a hole in the side of the drum, and this just kind of pops in there like that, and that's it. And then there's a little keeper tab. Once you get it on, you fold it over, and this goes around this, and this catches any gear oil that's going to leak. And instead of slinging it inside your brakes, you know, up here, this kind of catches it and flings it out, I guess, to the back of the wheel, where it can just escape into the atmosphere. That's crazy. I've never seen slinger before. So let's see if we can't giddy up. Oh, I lost one. Take the axle nut off. And these are not adjusted. These are all the way in. So this should go on pretty easy. I say that. And then what you would do is go to the adjuster hole down here and flick those stars to get it, you know, to bring them out to where they're going to touch. So there we go. It's one restored brake. Here's that little tab. Holds that slinger in. Isn't that weird? What a weird thing. Never even heard of that before. Come on. There we go. So I did clean up the threads a little bit with a wire brush too, just to get everything clean. Again, I'm not going to torque any of this down because we don't need to. I'm going to take it all apart to put the new axles in, so this will make it so we can roll it around if we need to. This still needs to dry a little bit, so I'm going to wait to put the wheels on. But there you go. Let's jump back up and we will wrap this one up. There we go. Rear brakes. You just saw the one side. I did end up doing both sides today. It's so much easier to do it without a camera. It took like 10 minutes. But we got everything in there cleaned up. We got paint on the backing plate. We got paint on the drum on the outside just to protect it. Some of that like OSPO style primer rust converter protector. I'll throw a link down below. I think I got it on Amazon. All new brake stuff from Wolfsburg West. We got the new stainless steel line back there. We got the soft line. I do need to order some more parts. I just wasn't thinking ahead, so we'll get the hard lines done and then we'll do the disc brakes. That'll be in the future, but soon. And I think I'm going to try and get this car running on 40 horse, take it back to the guy I bought it from and let him drive it around a little bit before I hot rod it. So try to get it back as much stock as possible, other than the front beam and the brakes, but he won't go there. We'll just put the original wheels back on there. And then, you know, we'll just do it up, stock style, stock height, let him drive it around. That'll be nice. You know, he hasn't driven this car in over 30 years. And he said this was his baby when he did drive it, so that'll be awesome. Then we'll stab that huge motor in there and get the Udo transmission that I've ordered, which should be here any minute. I mean, it's, well, maybe like 2 more weeks. He said end of February, so we'll have a new transmission in there, we'll get the new axles in there, do all the wiring. We'll catch up to Jason over at JW Classic. He's doing all his wiring right now for his fuel injection, and he bought that huge motor that he's been working on. His will be a little more detailed than mine, but ours is going to work pretty good. This car is going to be pretty fast, I think, for a little street car, little street bug. Should be a lot of fun. So lots of things to come on this car, and we're going to try and rapid fire and get them done. Just get them done real quick, and get the bus fixed, because I have things to do with the bus. Right now I only have the gear, and that is a bummer, because I love driving the bus, and the weather is perfect right now. So lots to do, lots to look forward to on the horizon. And you know, that's going to be it for today. Go down below, hit the links, check out all our friends, get the shirts, all that stuff. And Volks America, Volks Mania, all that stuff. Subscribe, tell a friend. You know, we've been getting a lot of subscriptions lately on this channel, which is awesome. I think it's working finally. So tell a friend, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. And thanks for watching.